There's little doubt that these people, our leaders and the media, are culpable for the deaths of thousands in Gaza and the West Bank, in Syria, Lebanon, and now Iran. These people are guilty of genocide via their appeasement, the world's most egregious crime. And now Israel's attacks on Iran pushes the world daily closer to World War III. Donald Trump is just about to seek an executive order to invade Iran. It's this Western appeasement of the Netanyahu government which has led to this. Principally, the appeasers being the US, the UK and Germany, with Australia a bit player, albeit with blood dripping from our hands, Pine Gap, diplomatic weakness, weapons export permits, etc., just being part of the team. The global rules-based order. The global rules-based order. What's really happened is that the myth of Western humanity is rent asunder. And now Trump has just ordered the evacuation of Tehran, a city of 10 million people, presumably so that they can raze it to the ground, teach them a lesson, sucked in by Benjamin Netanyahu, this genocide freak, sucked into the Israeli propaganda of Iran's nuclear program. There is no nuclear weapon program. The world media now, as we speak, unfurling their regime change line. We've got to change the regime for the safety of the Western world. Yep, the media is buying that spiel. We've seen it before. We've seen it in Vietnam, the domino theory. We've seen it in Iraq with the lies of the WMD, which then became a regime change. Eerily like this situation with Iran, where it was nukes. There's no evidence of nukes, so now they're saying regime change. We were misled. In the name of liberty, freedom and democracy. And Afghanistan, regime change to remove the Taliban. 20 years later, the Taliban back in office. The abysmal failures, one after another, exacting a huge cost in human life, not to mention economic damage, emissions in the atmosphere. And now we've got Murdoch again. The press, the Rupert Murdoch Press, News Corp, beating the drums of war for an attack on China. Our number one 40% trading partner, China, who hasn't invaded anybody for many years. Australia's walking into an absolute disaster by kowtowing to the US via its AUKUS security alliance. AUKUS has made us less safe, not more safe. The government of Anthony Albanese, feebly abetted by the warmongering coalition, dead set scared of what the US will say if they don't go all the way with Donald J. This is not strength. Being able to stand up to the bullies, to do the right thing, that's strength. To make the right decisions, not cravenly cave to the demands of so-called allies in Gaza and now destabilising the entire world. China has said it will back Iran in the face of Israeli aggression. Russia has its own thing going in Ukraine, but presumably backs Iran too, like it did in Syria. Pakistan, a nuclear power, a neighbour and an ally of Iran, says it will nuke Israel if Israel nukes Iran. North Korea, whose decision to get nukes has now been entirely vindicated by Western aggression, backs Iran too. It's offering its services. Are we on the wrong side? Are we the baddies here? In Syria, Israel and the US have installed a puppet regime of former ISIS and Al-Qaeda types. Yes, the very terrorists, their allies, ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Syria. This thing is an almighty mess, and right at the centre of it is Israel, which decries the regime in Iran, a country which has not attacked another country in 300 years, a country where, despite a mildly repressive government, embraces freedom of religion. There are mosques, churches and synagogues. In Palestine and Lebanon, Benjamin Netanyahu and co. and his cronies bomb mosques and churches. No Arabs have been crowding the bomb shelters this week as the Israelis scurried for cover from Iran's retaliatory strikes. In the apartheid state of Israel, bomb shelters are only for Jews. Plainly, we're now on the wrong side, and now we see Richard Marles, the defence minister, and his media proxies talking about the threat from China as Israel continues to murder dozens of civilians daily under cover of media blackouts. This morning, Israel bombed an Iranian TV station mid-broadcast, unapologetically boasting about it through their social media channels. Just another war crime, targeting journalists, going about their jobs, just as they target aid workers, and many other innocent people. Trump, the self-described peacemaker, has lost control, and behind it, if we follow the money, is an epic laundering operation which has sucked in the entire political class. It's quite simple. America sends billions of public money to Israel. This is money earned by their taxpayers, paid in taxes, to support Israel every year. Israel, in turn, sends money back to its lobby groups such as AIPAC, bribing almost every politician on Capitol Hill to support the genocide. They bombed 6 countries. How many has Iran bombed? None. Until now, in retaliation. And Australia, we're sending our tribute to the US, Israel's genocide partner, via AUKUS, for submarines which may never arrive. No clawback mechanism there, certainly not in time for this looming war, if it occurs. We can only hope that common sense prevails here, because war with China will not end well. But when it comes to cajoling Australia into the next useless war, the US has form, and it's only got to work on one man, and that's Albo. But few would put store in Albo to stand up to US pressure. You see, in the UK and the US, the decision to go to war is made by a vote of Parliament and Congress, respectively. They vote on it. In Australia, there's no vote. It's down to the PM. One man, his call. We desperately need war powers reform. So what can we expect? Well, the warmongers of the media are stepping up their campaigns. It will be about forgetting that this began with Israel's aggression, bombing Iran, with its terrorist attacks, drone attacks, Mossad infiltrating Tehran, etc. It will all be about demonising the Iranians, the people, and the Iranian regime particularly, driving spurious arguments for regime change as if it is our right to meddle in the affairs of other countries which want peace and which have done no wrong. Fox News this morning, secret Iranian nuclear weapons site revealed. Just shades of the Iraq WMD, the chemical and biological weapons which were never found because they weren't there. This is just a taste of things to come. The media has truly lost the plot. Let's never forget the truth that Iran is compliant. Israel is not. Israel doesn't even allow the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, to check their nuclear facilities. Iran is a member of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, unlike Israel. Those are the facts. Facts which are just about to be buried in an avalanche of lies and spin. But if the world needs regime change, they should start with Israel. In more than 100 countries, Iran has not invaded one. Yes, they have backed the Houthis and so on because they're anti-genocide, failing in his 2 stated aims of 1, ousting Hamas and returning the hostages. And this despite America and the US deploying more firepower and killing and maiming hundreds of thousands of civilians, burning people alive, refugees in tents. And now they're crying victim when Iran's given them a little taste of their own medicine. Still, the Israelis, the IDF, does not have the guts to go down in the tunnels and take these guys on, preferring instead to kill women and children, to frock up in the lingerie of their victims and blithely prance about on social media. It is so grotesque. Benjamin Netanyahu and his cronies, including America, have destroyed Israel through their brutality and stupidity and given rise to anti-Semitism around the world, while blaming everybody else, from peace protesters to Palestinians. They are squarely to blame.